when you work from home, the problem is that you never leave your office.
I love bookkeeping.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the I Love Bookkeeping podcast. My name is Hannah Robinson.
And I'm Melissa Honan.
Today, we're going to be tackling a subject that I think almost everybody can identify with. And I know it's something that I definitely struggle with from time to time, and that is work-life balance. Melissa, I know you and I actually talk about this really often and the struggles of work-life balance, especially because you're a mom. And I think a lot of people can identify with being a parent and being a business owner or just being a working parent. But today, I think we're really going to dive into what is work-life balance and get down to the nitty-gritty of how you can manage working and having a good quality of life.
Yeah. And that's really hard. And I have to say, I think everyone's going to relate to this because I think the biggest part of work-life balance related to working from home is really going to resonate with everyone, right? Especially since we went into the pandemic and people transitioned out of like a regular workplace, or maybe even people that had their own business for years, they might have been using a co-working space or an office and they decided to move that back to their house. So I think work-life balance is more important now than ever.
Well, I completely agree, because when you work from home, the problem is that you never leave your office. As long as you have a piece of technology, whether it's your laptop, your iPad, even your phone, you have access to your work. So it can be hard to kind of draw the line. And I think the line gets I know for me, especially, the line definitely gets blurred between setting time aside that's just for work during my day and then not working. And I think it's hard to, when an email pops up, when you're at home, you think, oh, well, I'll just check it now, or I'll just respond now. And I'm so bad about that. And work-life balance, I think a lot of people have a lot of guilt about it. I know I do. Do you struggle with that at all?
I do struggle with guilt about everything all the time. That's just my anxiety. But I will say that you have to draw that line in very thick Sharpie and stick to it. And it's the only reason that I'm so adamant about it now is because I've had to be. And I work with 15 other people who struggle with this. It's not just you. It's literally all of us that struggle with this when you work from home. And I stick to my decision to aggressively defend my personal time. And I am really aggressive about it. I'm not going to lie. So I think I have a lot of great tips to share with this. Like, for instance, Hannah, just don't respond to that email. Just say no. It's gonna drive you crazy for weeks or months. I don't know. I don't know what the proper, detox stage is when you're working through work, trying to find your work-life balance. Like, you're going to go through a detox. Like, it's going to be really hard. You're going to want to say, well, it's just one email. Well, this is a really important client. Well, I'm going to have to answer it tomorrow morning anyway. No, the answer is no. Don't respond to the email. And so the first thing you have to do is create a schedule and stick to it.
So I think a really important point when it comes to work-life balance, and I did some research upon scheduling this episode, and one of the things that is really important to note is that work-life balance is not an accomplishment, it's a cycle. And that stuck out to me so much and really just stuck in my brain, because I think a lot of the time, especially just with work culture, especially, in America, let's just go ahead and call it what it is, work culture in America, I think work-life balance is kind of looked at as a luxury and a privilege. Like, it's a privilege to have free time outside of work. And I don't like that we're conditioned to think that we work to live and live to work.
Okay. Oh, well, first of all, if you want to get me on a rant about capitalism, let me go off. I don't think that's what Ben wants us to do on this podcast.
Probably
so I'm going
not.
to tread carefully. I'm going to tread carefully here. But yes, it is the American idea that we live to work. And literally almost everywhere else in the world, it really is the opposite. Just like what you said, where you work to live, right? And so it really does, it shouldn't be a luxury, and it doesn't have to be a luxury. And it's this thought, right, that you can choose to rest, or your body's going to choose for you. And it's going to be the worst possible time for that to happen. So you need to make the time when it's convenient, because if you don't rest, your body is going to make you rest. And it's not going to be when you want it to or how you want it to. And it's not going to be enough, because then you're going to be in survival mode, just trying to get back to normal. You have to be proactive about taking care of yourself. And it starts with work-life balance for sure.
Well, and I remember when I was in my earlier 20s and I was doing hair and makeup full time, I would hear from people that have been in the industry forever. They're like, "Oh, you think you're tired now? Like, just wait." And I'm like, that's not something to look forward to. I don't think it occurred to me at the age of like 23. I was like, this is not healthy. Why am I getting a pat on the back for staying at the salon until 11 o'clock at night? That's awful.
I will say it's also some generational differences. And I hear people talk so poorly about this new generation. They don't want to work. No, they don't want to be taken advantage of. And it is so refreshing that they're basically just saying no to bullshit right off the bat, right? And we have to condition ourselves out of that, which is that boundaries are okay, that working a schedule is okay. When you sign up for a job that's say a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job, you are committing to 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. And it doesn't say anything about you if you clock out at 5. It doesn't say that you're not, motivated because you didn't stay till 6. No, you made an agreement for this amount of salary. I am working this schedule. Now it's different, of course, when you're a business owner and when you work for yourself, in the sense that it's much easier for you to take advantage of yourself. And that's where you have to say, okay, if I'm my own boss, if somebody else was my boss, how would I feel if they were treating me this way?
Yes. And that is something that I think has gone through my mind when I've worked jobs in the past that are just relentless with the effort and the work and the hours and the commitment, because it doesn't allow you to have normal things in your life that everyone should. I don't think it's a stretch or a privilege for people to be able to go home and eat dinner with their families. And I think it absolutely blows my mind that in today's culture, especially with this kind of overworked culture, that it's almost a pat on the back. If you stay super late, or, you miss out on things because you're working so hard. I don't think it's a good thing at all, especially because I feel like in my early 20s, I did miss out on a lot because I was working so hard. And people, I think you're so right. It's a generational thing of, oh, well, your generation's lazier, or that's just how it is. You just got to pay your dues. And I'm like, at what point does paying your dues just become almost abuse? You know what I mean?
It is. And at what cost, right? Because studies have consistently shown that a 4-day work week is significantly more productive than a 5-day work week. And for whatever reason, your main, corporations in America don't want to admit that because it wouldn't be, I don't know why, actually. I maybe it's just not in their preconceived notion of what they need. Like, you have these companies like Google, right? That have sleep pods at work, and they have kitchens with free food, and they have a gym on site, and they have all these things that look like benefits. Like, oh, there's rope swings, and we bring in yoga instructors, but everything is just geared towards keeping you there, right? The longer you're at work, the more productive you're going to be. When studies actually say no, that's not the case. And I can tell you from personal experience, I have worked really hard over the last year to get down from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week to a 3-day work week. And this is not, official math, but I feel like I'm 300% more effective in those 3 days. But I know for a fact when I stack my days in 3 days rather than spreading out that work in 5, I am significantly more productive and I'm happier because then I have a day to work on passion projects. And then I have a day to work on myself, because for those of us that are parents, the weekends are for your family. The weekends are for your kids. It's for catching up on laundry or doing dishes or doing all of the things that you need to do. And as a mom, you might never take that time for yourself. I have made it where I have a day to just do whatever I want to do. And I know that my happiness levels have just skyrocketed, but also I'm significantly more productive when I am working because I had the time to myself that I needed. And I don't feel resentful of the work that I'm doing.
That's amazing. And so something that weighs heavy on my mind with this topic, because I'll be honest with our listeners, work-life balance is something in my current phase of life that I am struggling with and I think a lot of people who work from home can also struggle with this. And that is, you feel glued to your laptop. You feel like you should keep it open all day and wait for more things to do. And when it comes time for the evening to roll around, it's like, you just jump from one meeting to the next meeting to now I have to make dinner to now I don't even have kids. And I feel like I'm doing work to lunch to I need to work out. I have another meeting. I need to finish my work. I need to finish this project. Now I need to eat dinner. Now I need to clean the kitchen. Now I got to take the dog out. Now I have to take a shower. And by the end of the day, I look around me and I'm like, okay, I haven't done laundry in 2 weeks. My kitchen desperately needs to be cleaned. I haven't, my hair, need to brush my hair. And it's little things like that you don't realize you miss out on when it's just next. And that's hard. And I think a lot of people can relate to that because I know it's something that I'm currently trying to navigate is create a schedule that is healthy for me and my work. But I think that's something that a lot of people can identify with. It's just going from the next thing. It almost feels like your day is planned out by the half hour. And by the end of the day, it's like the balance is something that you should be doing, like taking a shower. I don't think taking a shower or bathing or making your bed should have to be looked at as like a luxury. I think it's just part of your day.
But that's the thing is you might need to pencil that in at first, baby steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, what you need to do is sit down and just look at a calendar. And I do this exercise with a lot of people and choose your ideal schedule. Like when do you have flow? If you know that you hate working on Mondays or if you hate working on Fridays, just cross that day out. Okay, we're just working on an ideal schedule, right? Just cross that day out. Then if you know that after 3 p.m. in the afternoon, you're useless, well, you're not going to get anything done anyway. So just, block off after 3 p.m. All right. And then figure out when you're going to start. And so say for you that the ideal schedule for you is going to be Monday through Thursday from 9 to 3. Okay, well, how am I going to fit everything I need to do in that? Okay, well, you're going to have to transition. So go ahead and just anything that's scheduled outside of 9 to 3, you work through it, but block off your scheduling calendar, block off your calendar moving forward so nothing goes outside of that Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3. Then if you typically work, say, from 3 to 5, you just got yourself 2 hours. And maybe that's when you pencil in a shower. Maybe that's when you put, honestly, just block it for reading or doing nothing or whatever you need to do. But What you have to do is just sit down and give yourself that ideal schedule and then figure out a plan on how to work that way.
Today's show is brought to you by Keeper, the one app to run your bookkeeping business. Keeper helps you get faster client responses with your own custom branded QuickBooks integrated client portal. Finally, you can say goodbye to those pesky spreadsheets full of uncategorized transactions. Keeper also helps you catch those embarrassing coding errors before your clients do. And with Keeper, you can generate beautiful custom reports that your clients will absolutely love to read. To find out more, go to keeper.app. That's keeper.app. Mention I Love Bookkeeping to get 20% off your first 3 months. Again, go to keeper.app to find out more. Thank you for listening. Well, and I think I really like your point about sitting down and mapping out your ideal schedule. I think that's something that almost everybody can do, even if you do work a 9 to 5 and you have a job or a commute job or an office job that you don't do from home. Because I know that when I was doing hair and makeup and the hours were funky, and if I was doing a news reporter, the call time is 4 a.m. and then you do a full day at the salon, and it's exhausting because by the end of the day you're like, I don't even want to take a shower. I'm so tired, but you have to. But then the days off is when I would reserve doing things for myself. So it was nice definitely I learned that the shift from having a full day off to do things to now I'll maybe have an hour to do things. It's a new schedule that I think learning how to navigate can be tough because it can be trial and error and things pop up. But I think another thing to keep in mind is that even if you have kids, I don't have children, but I hear from moms and dads that they really want to spend their spare time with their kids. And that's a lot of our students' why for starting their business is to spend time with their family and spend time with their children. And so I think by managing your schedule early on in your business or even early on in your life, I think that really allows for creating better habits for the future.
That's very true. And I want to circle back to where you said where things pop up. So creating your schedule, but beyond actually forcing yourself to sit down and do it is the easy part. The hardest part is going to be sticking to it. The second hardest part is actually sitting down and making the schedule. It's just like, a procrastination type thing, right? Where you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to create a new schedule. And then you never get around to it. So make yourself sit down. Okay. Second hardest part. Creating the schedule, your ideal schedule, thinking about what would work for you. That's the easy part. Sticking to it and not letting things pop up. That's going to be the hard part because you're going to have a client say, well, can you meet at 3:30? And you're going to want to say, well, I said 3, but 3:30 is fine. No. That's when you say no. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm actually booked that day. Because you are. Even if you're not, you are. You committed to yourself that was going to be your schedule. And you have to stay committed to yourself. So you really do have to learn how to say no. When you said that, all these other things that you need to do, when it comes to children, there's going to be kind of, in my opinion, 2 options, which is 1, circle back to our delegation episode. Listen to that again about hiring somebody to clean your house. Hire a laundry service. Get HelloFresh. This episode is not sponsored by HelloFresh, but it could be. If you guys want to let us know, we can plug that. Find ways to delegate out the stuff that you don't want to do that needs to get done. But if you're going to do it, and you have children, they are never too young to learn. Well, I guess if they were like 6 months old, they couldn't be chopping onions, but like toddlers are very, if you they want to help, right? And it might be terrible help. And it might drive you crazy. You might regret it the entire time, right? It would just be easier if you could be, in silence chopping onions. But what you could do is teach them life skills and healthy work-life balance and have them help you, right? Have them help you fold the laundry, and you might have to fold it again, or don't. It doesn't have to be well folded, does it? It doesn't even have to be folded. I know so many moms that have just committed to having individual laundry baskets for each child, and that's where the clean laundry goes. And it's just like, sift through this basket every morning. It's clean. It doesn't need to be folded. You're going to mess it up in a minute anyway.
That's so funny because folding laundry is my least favorite chore. I'll clean the kitchen every day of the week, but folding laundry, I need to train my dog to do that because it is my absolute least favorite. But
okay, would you be okay with hanging your laundry?
I have a problem where I have two closets and they are both overflowing.
Okay,
so
that's a conversation for another day.
That's a whole other, my organizational skills, and I have to be so pristinely organized just to fit everything. That's a whole other episode though. So we'll have a hoarding episode, not sponsored by TLC, hopefully.
I'll book my flight to Atlanta and help you. That's my passion project, by the way. Passion in like organization type things.
I love that's one of my favorite things. In fact, the other day on a Sunday, I think it was a Saturday or a Sunday, our ritual is my boyfriend goes outside and he does like yard work, and I'm like, stay out of the kitchen. I have a project today. Just stay away. And organizing the kitchen or organizing the closet or reorganizing the dresser, favorite thing. It's a little bit my happy place, but again, that goes back to one of those things that I enjoy doing that I get to do when I am not working.
Yeah. And that's where, so like circling back around to like saying no. So a lot of people, myself included, I don't have an office. So that does make it hard. And I know a lot of working moms, especially, that they're working from the kitchen table, or you're working from a makeshift, desk that you put in your bedroom or whatever it might be. It is really hard because it's right in your living space, right? You don't have that separate office. And so you still have to stick to the same habits that you would if you were working outside of the home or if you did have an office with a door. And so say it's 3:00 and it's time for you to stop working. Turn your computer off. Does anybody actually do that anymore?
I just
close it.
Yeah, I shut.
You just shut it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to X out of all of your tabs. Look, if you need to take a drink, do it. I know so many people that have 50, 60, 100 tabs open.
I can't even think about that. That stresses me out.
Close your tabs and turn your computer off. I know this isn't revolutionary, but none of you are going to do it. I'm asking that you please do it. And then next, what you're going to do is go onto your phone and you're either going to remove Slack or at least modify your notifications for Slack, for email, for whatever messaging service that you're using to not send you notifications outside of your working hours. I highly recommend that if you can, just remove those apps from your phone to remove the temptation. But I enjoy working from my phone in the regular day when I just kind of need a break from my laptop. So I have it there, but I do have the notifications turned off outside of my working hours. So that's the thing, is you have to, again, aggressively defend your personal time. And that starts with you and setting good habits. X out of your browser, turn off your laptop, change the notification settings on your phone. And when you have the urge outside of your working hours to just work, no. The answer is no. And it's going to be really hard. And I will say, especially on, like, I will take maybe like once a month that kind of has like gone to like once every other month. I will do like kind of like a spa day where I'll go get a massage or a facial and then like a pedicure or something like that. And this is a true story. A couple months ago, I did this. And I went and I got a 90-minute massage. I was hashtag treating myself. And about 20 minutes into the massage, I had a breakthrough. I knew how to solve all of the problems in my business about 20 minutes into this massage. I asked, and I'm in, at the time I was actually in Costa Rica. So the massage therapist that I was working with did not speak English. And so I do not speak Spanish. I'm learning. I, at the time, did not know how to ask for a pen and paper, but I literally sat up on the massage table and I was like, can I have a pen and paper? And she's like, you're crazy. Lay back down. Like, you're in the middle of a massage. And I was like, I need to write this down. I'm going to lose it. Anyway, she's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It's okay. So anyway, for the rest of that massage, I literally kept going through everything that I needed to work on in my business. It literally had a breakthrough, could not write it down. But as soon as I got out of the massage, I grabbed my phone and I recorded all of my notes in a voice note. And then I turned my phone off, because you need to have that break to really be productive in your work. But I couldn't go and be active on those tasks because I was committed to not working that day. And so I let all of those ideas sit. I didn't work on them. It was really hard. And I think this is what Ben recommends too. I know every time we've done a mastermind, like Ben has been like, I know you want to work on it, but don't work on it till you get home. Like, he's like, I'll just wait till like your Monday. I've heard him say that before. Maybe I'm making that up, but it's true. Sometimes even when you want to work, when you've gotten that aha moment on your break, it's okay to put a pause on it and come back to it. Because I went back to work the next day and I had changed my mind on some of the things that I had wanted to work on, but I felt refreshed because I still needed that time. I had that breakthrough during my massage, but I still needed that time. And so it was really hard, but I had to make myself say no, even though I really didn't want to at that time. So you're going to find those times where, outside of, say, that 9 to 3, Monday through Thursday, or whatever your schedule is, you're going to have that breakthrough. Write it down and come back to it. It will sit. It's not an emergency. Nothing in what we do really should be. I always joke that there's no such thing as a bookkeeping emergency. I will ask, if you ever have had a bookkeeping emergency, to please let us know. What is it? success@bookkeepers.com. Let us know what that bookkeeping emergency was, because I don't think it exists.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's amazing. So today we've covered generally our thoughts on work-life balance and some ways to implement it in your life, and some ways for me to implement it in my life. In the next coming episodes, we're going to be diving into this more and just talking about some more subcategories of different aspects of balancing out your work and life. But if you have questions or if you have input, please shoot us an email at success@ilovebookkeeping.com. Again, that is success@ilovebookkeeping.com. My name is Hannah Robinson.
And I'm Melissa Honan.
Thank you for listening to the I Love Bookkeeping podcast.
I love bookkeeping. Here's a little shout to all my friends working hard at keeping the books. You want to change your life, you want to grow that biz, it's not as hard as it looks. Be a money guide, a profit coach, step up your game and see. We'll be working less and making more.